What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I love Dan's Supra so much. It's so sick. We are out here at Erie, Pennsylvania for Formula Drift round 4, and it's a wet and rainy one, unfortunately. Doesn't really make for any interesting or crazy filming because the cars just kind of look like they're going in slow motion the whole time. Again, for all my trackside stuff, I bring 2 lenses with me for basically everything. One is my Sony 70-200G lens. It has a continuous f4 aperture, so at 70mm it's at f4, at 200 it's at f4, which is really nice. No crazy aperture changes. I use that for all my track stuff, and then for pit stuff, hot pit stuff, toter stuff, we're working on the car, I have my 24-70 G Master in this bag, all safe. Right now I'm shooting the video in 24 as before. The rule of thumb with frame rate is you want your shutter speed to be double your frame rate. So 150 is as close as I can get to 24 frames. Every single time that I come out to an event, I always forget to get an ND filter for this lens, so I constantly have to stop my aperture up all the time. Either way, it still looks fine, but it's definitely something I need to do in the future. Another big tip that I like to always say is when you're shooting things on track or with any cars and you're on tripod or you're in a stationary area, I like to have my camera as low down as I can. It just kind of gives a much better angle to a car than being super high up. So my camera is kind of at car level, and it's just high enough to peek over the K-rails, and the K-rails actually will give me a little bit of foreground as well, which I like. So yeah, little tips and tricks.
To interrupt this video really quick to let you guys know that a new shirt of mine just went live on my website. This is a special t-shirt that commemorates 5 years of Divine Media on YouTube, on social media, and the entire journey as a company and a brand. It has been a wild ride and a wild 5 years, and I just wanted to thank you guys by coming out with something really, really cool that's never going to be made again. It's just a one-time thing to commemorate 5 years of making some awesome memories with some awesome people. So if you're interested in the shirt, the link is in the description. They're only going to be made once, and they are a pre-order, so you will have 7 days from when this video is live till the pre-order is over, and then they will go into production and get shipped out. So once again, link is in the top of the description. I appreciate all of your support. I have a lot of other cool stuff that's going to be coming to the website towards probably the end of July as well, so keep an eye out for that stuff on my Instagram. I'll announce when those things are going live. But thank you guys. Now let's get back to the video.
Okay, diving into the air suspension a little bit. I've been doing this maybe like a half an hour. Took the trunk apart, and I found that there was a very, very slow leak from this airline on the far left. This goes to the front left of the car. Pushed it in a little more, didn't notice any more air bubbles, but when I went to check the pressures, it was still dropping. So what I'm trying to do now is that hard line runs into a fitting into the box, into another fitting under this tank. So I already took the bolts out for the tank. I'm gonna pull the tank up and over so that I can get behind there. I found the culprit, or what I believe to be is the culprit, but that fitting, the lower fitting that goes into the box, is pissing real bad. Not bad enough to be like an issue while you're driving, but if you want to leave the car aired up for, 3, 4, 5 hours, eventually the front left bag would be out of air. I'm gonna try and spray some water on it so you guys can see. Oh yeah, you can hear it too. Yep. So I need a new bulkhead fitting for the back of the trunk setup. Not a big deal, it's cheap, but had to kind of tear apart the trunk to get to it. So all right, so it's about time that I take care of this for the Supra. Ever since I got it, the AC has been kind of weird, and it's cold, but it's not anywhere near as cold as it should be. So I picked up one of these guys, not sponsored, but I have used them in the past and they work for systems that work. They're just low on Freon. So we're gonna take a peek at this old 2J Fury and see if we can get the AC to work better. This friggin' AC rips now, so much better. But we are heading to the Ford dealership.
That's right.
That's right. I got Marco with me.
That's right.
We are picking up Adam's truck because he had to drop it off at the dealer, and we are going to use said truck to get the Century hood back to the shop because that thing is gigantic. Can't fit it in any of my cars, and it's been at Adam's house for a while. So I'm gonna bring it back to the shop, and then we can officially get underway with the Century front end swap. I also have the LS400 battery in the trunk because that shit dead as hell, and I need that to be replaced very badly. So I have a suspicion that it's the alternator because my power steering pump went on that car a while ago, and it usually would just leak all over the alternator and kill it. So if the battery can get swapped and I can move the car to where it needs to be, I'll be happy.
2 hours later.
Hello. Update. Don't know where the video is at this point, but I know where I'm at. I'm at the hospital. Got my finger real bad with my pocket knife. I wish it was a cooler story, but it was just trying to open a box and I slipped. But it's not very good, and I'm like 99% sure I got a tendon because I can't really move my thumb that much. So I'm just kind of stuck here, but they're gonna stitch it up, and then tomorrow we're gonna go into probably surgery, and it'll probably get modified and worked on, and I'll have aftermarket thumb, maybe. HKS thumb?
HKS thumb. You bagged it, bud.
I bagged it, bud.
Not HKS. Who makes bags?
Airlift.
Airlift thumb.
Airlift thumb. The nurse when I was describing everything and he looked at it, he was just like, yep, all in all, you bagged it, bud. So half thumb up for me.
Look at this thing. This thing is good looking.
Fuck you. I can't use my thumb right now. All right, so regardless of my screwed up hand, I actually go into surgery in like 3 hours, but I'm back, and I still want to fix this. So I got some new bulkheads here. Only need one, but they sent me two. So I'm going to drain the tank, get all the pressure out, pop the hardline off, pop the bulkhead out. Hopefully I can swap all this stuff with one hand, and we'll see how it goes. All right, despite having only one hand, managed to get the trunk all fixed and back together. So no more crazy leak. Very happy about that. It has been something I have been putting off on this car for honestly a year, and I'm glad that I was able to fix that. So kind of half a thumbs up. Finally took the time to give this thing a much needed wash. Update on my hand. I thought surgery was today, but turns out surgery is on Friday, which is the day after you're watching this video. So I guess wish me luck on that. I don't know how that's gonna go, but this video has turned into kind of just a jumbled up mess of random things once this happened, because now it's like impossible for me to work on the LS400, at least with what I need to do. So why not make it an even more screwed up video and kind of address something that is happening. And it's sad, but I know it's for the better, and I know that it will be a benefit to the channel, and it's something that I've been thinking of for a while. I apologize in advance for the latest few videos being mostly talking videos. There's just been a whole lot going on behind the scenes of stuff, and it's been hard to kind of piece together a video on top of me trying to save a ton of money so that I can make this next move for the next car that I want, which is a big one, even bigger than the Supra.
and I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm just shooting for it. So hopefully I can make it happen. But that brings me to my next thing. This car. You guys know this car. All the OGs remember when I picked this car up in 2018. I bought it from Jack down at Horsepower Logic. And probably a year before then, I met all of them with Tommy and Rudnick when they picked up their Skylines. And when I was there, Jack basically said, let me know whenever you want to import a car. And this was the car that came to mind. It is a 91 Toyota Soarer, for anyone that's curious. Comes with a 1JZ twin turbo from factory, non-BBTI for the year. And this one, when I got it, was pearl white. Paint was okay. The interior was tan cloth, kind of old and banged up, but. And when I got this car back to Massachusetts, I drove this car from Florida all the way to Massachusetts. I went ham on this car for 3 years, completely transforming it from what it used to be to what it is now, which is a bagged big single turbo, crazy Toyota Soarer with House of Colors candy paint, super nice clean body kit, custom exhaust, complete tan to black interior conversion, manual swap with a brand new R154 transmission. This thing is just perfect. I love this car. But I think it's time for someone else to enjoy this car as much as I have. And to some of you guys, this might be sad news, but I am selling this car. And the only reason why I'm selling this car is to try and push myself to the next car, which is a car that I honestly thought I would never own. So the fact that there's a possibility of me getting this car this year, I just want to make the executive decision and sell this car. To anyone that follows my social medias, you might know which car I'm talking about that I want to try and get next. It's a car I've wanted for 15 years at least. I've had them on my wall since I was probably 12 in my bedroom back home. It's a car that I thought that I would never own, just because every single year the prices keep going up and get further and further away of being obtainable. If I sell this car, I will be very close to being able to own one of those cars. So that is my executive decision for doing this. I know it's sad. I love this car still, but I know that the next owner will love it just as much as I did. So if you guys were curious as to why I washed the car, why I fixed the trunk air leak and things like that, it's because the new owner is actually driving down right now to meet with me. He's probably 15 hours away or so. He's gonna come down, buy the car, and drive it back. He's a nice guy, and he's also bringing his friend with him that has actually helped me quite a bit on the LS400 in getting parts for that car. So I know this thing's gonna go to a good home. I know that it'll get the love it deserves, and it's definitely sad to see it leave, but just know my reasoning is to replace it with something that is 5 times cooler, something I've always wanted. And I wanted this car when I got it, but at the same time, it's a very niche, weird car that not a whole lot of people know about, and I wouldn't say it was a dream car of mine. It was just an obtainable car that I could get at the time that had an awesome engine, awesome suspension, awesome interior, and it was just kind of the best car to get for the money. I got this car because at the time I couldn't afford a Supra. And this car has Supra suspension, Supra chassis, front and rear even looks similar to a Supra. But now that I have a Supra, it also is kind of weird to technically kind of have like 1.5 Supras, because I would count this as kind of half of a Supra. So that's another reason why I feel like getting rid of it. I don't need to get rid of this car, but in order for me to get the next car that I want, that is my reasoning for trying to sell this car. So I think this is going to be the end of this video. In the next video, in the beginning, you guys will see the new owner of this car coming to drive it, test it out, fall in love with it, and take it back home. And hopefully in that video as well, my finger can get properly attended to, and we can continue on the LS400 stuff, because I'm not kidding, I really want to try and get that front end to work. And it's going to be a lot, especially now that this has happened, but I'm not going to give up. Thank you guys for watching this video. Remember to go in the link in the description, pick up the new 5-year anniversary shirt. Thank you guys for supporting me. I know this is a tough decision, but with your guys' support, I know that we can get the next car that I'm looking for. So thank you. And I will see you guys in the next video.